Have you wondered if you need to be given a tarot deck to get started? That's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Mel from Mel's Divination, and today we're going to talk all about gifting tarot decks and how I got started. So I do have a little bit of background music in playing. I hope it's not too intrusive. My neighborhood is noisy today and I do apologize for that. Someday I'll have my own little witch cottage in the woods where my neighbors are quiet. But for now, we work with what we have. I had totally different videos planned for today, but the new moon energy in Virgo has really kind of packed a wall up for me. I normally film videos ahead of time, several weeks sometimes, but this week it just kind of caught up to me. And so I decided to throw this one in here. I have two already in the works. One is, just so you guys know what's coming up, one is a book review about Moonology, the book Moonology by Yasmin Bolin. And I'm working with a new editing program on that one, so I want to try to see if I can mirror it and flip it. And so that one might be a little bit before it comes out because of the editing process. Learning with that, it does take time. The other one is I'm going to be doing a video all about citrine. And I filmed half of it already and thought I did a great job. And then when I was watching it to edit it, I realized I left out a huge chunk of information that I really should have included. So I do have to do an add-on there. And yeah, that's gonna take time too. So this one is a lot easier to do today. It's more of a vlog style because it's something that I don't have to prepare notes for because I just know. I've been doing tarot for many, many years. It's my job, it's my ins and outs, and some materials I do prepare notes for, and this one I definitely don't need to. So, that was a very long explanation, but if you're still with me, we're gonna talk about tarot, and my nose is itchy today, sorry guys, and what the rules are about buying your own decks. So when I first got started in tarot, and I don't believe I've told this part of the story, and I do apologize if I've told it before, but when I first got started, I had been doing oracle decks. And before oracle decks, I was doing runes, and I know I mentioned that previously. But I was doing readings. I have a lot of boxes behind me. You can see them over my shoulder. I was doing readings just with oracle decks, and they were professional readings for clients. And I was finding that I needed something a little bit more. I was jumping from deck to deck a lot because each deck specializes in different areas. So if a client wanted a romance reading, I had to do that one, or a general reading, and I was all over the place, and I had to have so many decks in front of me, and I was getting a bit, honestly, frustrated with the fact that I was having to pull so many decks and have so many supplies around me. Now, at this point, I have about 50 decks, and it's crazy, and someday I will share them all with you. But tarot, the reason why I was pulled to it to begin is because it has such a big, global, like, over-encompassing theme that it's not just romance, that it's not just money, that it's not just life, that it's all of the things. It's passion, it's spirit, it's education, it's money, it's love, it's all of it. And depending on how you tune your reading, you can do all of those things. For the most part. I mean, for the most part. I still sometimes have oracle decks that are my go-to for other things, but really, if you're just getting started, if you're looking to do readings, the only thing you truly need is a tarot deck, and to start working with learning how to do that. You've seen my cousin Kimmy on this channel before. I've taught Kimmy how to do tarot, and she does readings professionally now, and she only uses tarot. So you don't need anything else besides tarot. And it doesn't matter what tarot. The traditional one that a lot of people are familiar with is sorry, my camera, and I'm sorry that this is backwards, is the rider weight deck. Let's see if I can get this to focus. It's not being fun right now. I'm sorry, guys. Is the rider weight deck, so you get the point. This one's my mini one. Look how cute it is. It fits in my hand. This is my backup box. I just wanted you to see what the box. The boxes are the traditional ones. The boxes are usually yellow. This is my bigger standardized size. See how much bigger it is in my hand? So, focus that on me. So this, and it's funny because the last time I went over tarot, the Knight of Swords was there. So maybe this is a message for me because I've been using this deck, and that's interesting that that's on the bottom. So anyway, this is the size difference, right? Tiny, tiny, and then typical. But what we're here to talk about is how I got started, and then if you need to be gifted one, right? So when I was doing these readings, it was professional, and I didn't have a ton of support from friends, family. People weren't like, oh, that's awesome that you do that. They weren't super into it for me or excited for me. I was teaching full-time, and doing this part-time when I was learning, and I really wanted to try something that was similar to tarot, but I felt very overwhelmed because I felt like the definitions, oracle cards have words on them. Tarot cards don't. It just has the name. High Priestess, number 2, Major Arcana, right? So I didn't think, oh, I can use my intuition. I can go as I learn. And I was very scared. I was very uncomfortable. And I do want to talk about being scared of tarot in a minute, because that's something that came to mind when I was planning for this video. But so my very first deck that I bought myself, I did not get gifted it, was sort of a version of a tarot deck. So this is the Angel Tarot cards. This is the original by Doreen Virtue. I will be doing a video about her, and Radley Valentine. And at the time I was using a lot of Doreen Virtue Oracle decks. Now this is what it looks like in the back. This is the original. It's so busted. I've dropped water on it. I've used spray on it. The cards stick together now. I don't use them. I almost never use them anymore because even when you shuffle them, they're stuck. Because I learned the hard way, when you spray on a deck, even if it's a cleansing spray, it dries funny and the cards start to get sticky. So don't do that. But here's the King of Air. So this is the King of Swords. And as you can see, I know this is backwards and I'm sorry, and I will insert a picture afterwards. But as you can see, there's little sub-words, hinting words, right? And then there's a picture, and then there's even a little paragraph down here. And it's like that for all of them. They all have that, right? So that is how I started with tarot, because it had guide words and little paragraphs, and it kind of gave you things, and then I channeled more information. As I got comfortable with this, I realized, well, this isn't too far off from the traditional tarot. If King of Air is like King of Swords, this is a limited perspective though, okay? The Angel Tarot deck is very limited. It's angel driven. So for instance, they talk about there's no devil card in there. There's no tower card in there. There's no death card in there. They changed it to a different card because they felt those kinds of cards were scary. And now that's what I want to talk about next is tarot dangerous? No. Tarot is just like angel cards, oracle cards, pendulums, any kind of divination. And I'll link my divination video up here so you can check it out. But tarot is just like anything else that you use for divination. When you're communing with spirit, you want to make sure that you're grounded, that you're centered, that you're protected, that you're only calling in your team. But it's just divination. It's not, oh my God, if I read tarot, I'm going to bring in the devil, or I'm going to bring in a demon, or I'm going to bring in a curse. It's not. It's not. But when I first started reading these and started doing oracle cards, I was taught by somebody who was frightened of tarot. And actually, I had a family member who does cards, and I didn't know she did cards. And when I went to practice doing oracle cards on somebody, they wanted to check out what kinds I had because they needed to be safe, because safety. So because tarot isn't safe. So that was the theory. Okay. So I've been using tarot now for 5-6 years now. Now remember, I've been reading professionally a lot longer, but it took me time to move into the tarot because I was doing other things first. But the actual just tarot cards, I've been reading them for 5 or 6 years now, and nothing bad has happened to me. I haven't channeled the demon. I haven't been cursed, like, not just by using tarot cards. They're tarot. And I also bought all of these decks that you're seeing. This I bought. This I bought. The angel cards I bought. All of my tarot decks I bought for myself. Nobody has bought them for me. There's that old tradition that your first deck or your decks need to be gifted to you. It's baloney. Especially if you come from a place that nobody's supporting you. I mean, if it's a tradition in your family or a tradition in your culture or something like that, and you already have a mentor. Sorry, my phone was interrupted. So what I was saying was, if you already have a mentor or somebody in your family that would naturally, you've been taught this, we are going to hand down grandma's deck or mom's deck or whatever to you, that's a totally different, that's completely different, okay? I'm not trashing any of that, and honestly, I wish I grew up in that kind of community. I do. I'd be so much further along because my journey and my gifts and all of that grows every time I use them, and I could have started much, much younger. So neither here nor there. The point is, you do not have to have somebody to give you this. You do not need to wait until somebody purchases a deck and gifts it to you. Nothing bad will happen if you go out and you buy your own. You don't have to buy the Angel Tarot deck. That's just the way that I started, because at the time I was working with a mentor who was very Doreen Virtue centric. And so Doreen Virtue, right? And I am going to do a whole video about her, but she was the angel lady. She was all about angels, and there's nothing wrong with angels. I still work with, I work with a few. Like I've mentioned Archangel Michael, but she was all angels only. And she kind of peddled fear when it came to tarot. And when I really go into talking about her in the video that's going to come up, and I'm doing a lot of research around that because I want to do it justice. But when I talk about her, I have a theory that she never fully left her Christianity for New Age, and she just returned to Christianity because she was so angel-centric and telling people that the tarot was dangerous and being careful and it's scary. And so one of my mentors, who I love dearly, who was a very devout follower of her, did not like the regular tarot, was uncomfortable with it. I don't know if I would 100% say that she was afraid of it, but she really didn't, she wasn't into it at all. Maybe borderline afraid. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so Doreen very much peddled the stay away from regular tarot and go my way. Here's the angel cards. Here's the angel ones. So that was a thing. So to summarize, and I know I was a little all over the place, I'm just finishing up my iced coffee, so I'm like jazzed up because I've been really drained, and I've been doing a lot of energy healing for somebody, and it's taken a lot out of me. So plus the Virgo full moon, so I'm not my typical self right now. But the whole point of this video, the long way to get there, is that if you are interested in learning tarot, you can go out and buy your own deck. You do not have to wait. Period. Nothing will happen if you buy your own deck. I've bought myself at least 10 different tarot decks of different types and versions. These are just a few that I grabbed to show on video, but I have Akashic Records Tarot, I have the Spacious Tarot, I have the Rider-Waite Radiant deck, I have a couple of others that are sort of like tarot oracle cards. I have Cat's Eye Tarot deck. I have a Guardian Angel Tarot deck. Again, Doreen Virtue. I don't use that one very much. I'm not sure what else. I'd have to sit and really like stack them up, and I probably will for you guys one day. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I know I've been like super scattered, and I'm sorry. Thank you for sticking with me if you stayed with me this long. It's been some energy. It's been fun. But coming up in the next couple of videos you can look forward to, we're going to do a Moonology book review. We're going to talk about citrine. I will be doing the Doreen Virtue video, and I'm already doing some research because I want to share it with you appropriately about binaural beats, which I use all the time, but I'm not super educated in the fact of like, oh, this beat means this and that beat means this. And so I want to share real knowledge with you guys when I share it. So I'm doing some research and preparing there. I hope this helps you guys. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share, comment down below. And yeah, that's it. Let me know how you're feeling about this. Did you buy yourself a tarot deck already? Have you been considering it? Have you been taught not to? What's your train of thought? I hope you guys all do great for the new moon, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.